Greetings all. Wow. Now that is a mosquito. Yeah. Oh well. Anyway, we will tend to him later. Greetings. I'm sitting out here, relaxing, watching the sun go down over the mountain, and then sometimes getting attacked by the mosquitoes. But anyway, it's what it is. I want to address the few things that I've been seeing um, lately, where everybody's been seeing it. I hope you guys watching it also, because it's going to affect Africa. All these things, I tell you, Africa has a over reaching. It's a huge oh man, you meant a huge what would you call it, shadow, cast a huge shadow over whatever happens on this planet. The fear, it gives people reasons not to sleep at night. Anyway, some of these events, let me name a couple. Israel and its allies, they're trying to push Africa one way. And then one of these ways they're trying to push Africa is this Maloney thing. This Italian prime minister or president, what he is, trying to capture Africa with promises of money. All of the European countries has that program, but it's run by the EU. If you remember, the EU came out and said, hey, we're going to give you this great amount of money that you can do all this with. And what happened is that start seeing Germany, England, France coming out with their little programs. And it all came out after the EU made that policy. So Maloney, I hope the African people will see right through it. I hope all you guys who listen to me on my YouTube channel can see through all of this. Anyway, I've seen a couple of YouTubers in Africa who mentioned it, but they going through it as though this is this great thing happening that's going to benefit Africa. It's not. They've lied before. They say, we're going to give you this, we're going to do this, do this. And then the whole program turned out to be a farce, where if they promised $1 billion, they gave you 200 million, and then they didn't give it to benefit Africa, benefit African leaders. So all those COVID masks that you think you got for free, and then you see in Africa being sold, for example. Anyway, the other one is Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali decide, you know what, we had enough of this ECOWAS thing, we're going our own way. And some people are seeing it as though it is weakening ECOWAS. But how can you weaken something that, it's only a shell anyway? ECOWAS is not run from Africa. It is run from Europe. And now with America coming into Africa, with Africa come, it's being most taken over. The Europeans being taken over as they become weaker by the American program. So I don't know what to tell you about this. You should be seeing this yourself. You should be seeing this yourself. You should be seeing all the issues with it and saying it to yourself and telling other people, you know what, this is just another lying, trying to twist the arm of African leaders to support Ukraine, and they're not pushing Ukraine as much now as they're pushing Israel, because what South Africa did. Hey, man, I'm looking at what and who gonna start this thing against South Africa. But like I said, the story that what Italy is trying to do, see all the headlines, but it's not being. It's given a half truth. You know, it's like a paragraph, and there's one sentence in there that's saying, "Hey, Italy is now your friend." You're not your friend. We bring you here to have a talk. Yes, that's the truth. We're gonna give you this much money. False again. You need money to do this, do this. Yes, you do. You need education, you need infrastructure, you need healthcare. Yes, that's true. So they're giving you half the truth, and then this whole long life. History is like, I hope people don't forget Italy's role in the colonial past and present under the EU. The next thing is this Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso separating from ECOWAS. ECOWAS wasn't created by Africans. It is not run from Africa. It's got presidents of African states that whenever they want to do something, they get a phone call from France or Germany, somebody in the EU or America now. Hey, we want to do this, and what should we do? Or in the case of when it was the coup d'etat, and as the guy from Nigeria called it a coup, as there was a coup in Niger. You know, the first thing he did was call London. Went to London, went to France. People forgetting this, to get what he's supposed to do. Then the other one in Ghana, nah. I'm going to declare war on these guys. Let's go. What are you going to do it with? He went and bought $3 billion the other day. They give him the $3 billion so that he can do what they want done. Is push that agenda. But then Africans started turning against him, and all the other, and now, I mean, Ghana is broke. Nigeria too. I mean, Nigeria making a lot of money from oil, but the money is being taken, stolen by the people who were in power, people, the judges and the other people who keep the ECOWAS chief in power. And there's another thing that is happening that you haven't heard about yet, but there's a narrative beginning to be pushed by the Jews in America and England, and I suspect Germany and you know, uh, the Dutch, boy. Anyway, they are pushing this narrative now about Africans being enslaved by Muslim countries. And I always used to talk about that, and people, I know it probably upset a lot of the Muslim people, but now you understand, now you comprehend the issue with this thing. Now, they have an agenda to get Israel off the hook for their genocide. And if they can push the agenda that the Muslims are enslaving African black people, and they can get black people to turn against the Muslims, they think they're going to benefit. What they have forgotten is that they were in cahoots with the Muslims when they sold when their ships picked us up. They are a part of this triangle, the Muslims, the Europeans, and them, that enslaved Africans. And when I say the Muslims, well, there were some African Muslims who did it. The Nigerians, I mean, hey. Ghanaians, all the Sahel Muslims. My family, full. So I heard the stories. That's one of the things that in my family, the stories were passed down. But anyway, they're trying to change the narrative. Now they're trying to switch the blame upon the Muslims. But it was them who started it. And if you doubt me, go back and read Portuguese history. The conversos. Columbus and his gang, his people, light skinned. Because Portugal is mixed African, Arabs, and Hebrew people. They then begin to call themselves Jews. So, anyway, the conversos. They have Portuguese names, they have English names, Dutch names, German names. But the ships were built Holland and England, Spain, Portugal, brought us to the Caribbean and Americas. Other thing is, they mentioned Darfur, how Israel was training the Christians in Darfur to fight off the Muslims. That wasn't about slavery. That was about oil. And one of the things that the EU and America does is Israel trains ISIS and all the other so-called terrorists. But in the case of Darfur, they were training what is now called South Sudan, Sudanese, to fight against the people who used to rule over Sudan, so that oil will fall into the hands of the people who can bring it out of South Sudan. It wasn't the free our brothers at all. It was all about oil. The same Sudanese war is now going on again. In Niger, those so-called terrorists were trained by the Israelis, financed by UAE. You gotta know your history, people. Gotta see the story. Sit down and study these things. So when it comes to you, I told you guys 3 years. We are coming up on the end of year 2. It already begun, and it's not the 3rd year yet. Keep your eyes open. I'm not telling you, this is information, as I always tell you, information is information. It's so that you can protect yourself. You know what actions to take. Don't wait until all hell breaks loose. Like when you see what happened in Ukraine, then African leaders running all over the world looking for food to eat, to buy, to feed their people. If they were building to create that before, they could sit back and say, hey, look at those people killing each other. The price of food in Africa tripled. Still can't feed each other. Information is help you plan. Have a great day wherever you are. If you were watching the sundown like me, watching the sunrise, or watching the blue sky of a midday. Sorry for you guys who are enduring the floods in the Midwest and the West of America, and on the East Coast and Mid-America, the freezing and snow. But anyway, you can still enjoy it. Make a cup of tea, sit down, relax, and watch the snowfall inside. All right, peace.